Hey, hello everyone. My name is Mayank, and I'm working as a software engineer uh, in Ireland. For past 3.5 months, and I would like to share my experience how to apply for the Ireland visa, and I'll tell you all of these steps that are required, able to apply for a visa. So first of all, the first process is to go through the Irish immigration website, wherein you have to apply for the visa. But before that, you will get the employment permit from your employer. So the employer will gonna apply the work permit on your behalf, or maybe you have to apply for the employment permit before applying for the visa from from India or any other country you want to apply to. So once you get the employment permit, you are good to go. So the steps I'm sharing you have to follow the same steps. So first of all, you will have to arrive here at the Irish immigration website, wherein you have to click on I would like to come to Ireland. Since you are in India, so you're gonna come here. So you will have to click here. So and therein you'll have to select the work. If you are coming for the employment, if you're coming from visit, you can go for visit. You are coming for the studies, there are different visa altogether for that. And similarly for living and the joint families for the spouse. So as far as your work is concerned, you are going to join the organization in Ireland, so you'll have to click on work. And the one thing that you make sure that you are not an EEA, because if you live in India or any other country that is not the part of European Union, EEA is nothing but the amalgamation of many countries, along with the some additional countries that are not required to have the visa to come to Ireland to work. So since you are applying from India, so you'll not need you will be needing the employment permit or a typical permission. This is different from the employment permit. So yeah, after you get the employment permit from your company, so there are two types of employment permit. One is critical skills employment permit, and the another one is general employment permit. So I got the critical skills employment permit. But maybe you'll get a different permit or the same. So yeah, depending on the permit, you'll have to apply for it. And this is a long stay permit, so you will be needing the long stay type D visa. Remember, type D, not the type C. Type C is for the short visit. So let's see how to apply for that visa. You just go there, right? And then once you go there, you will be seeing the options, right? So you will have to stay like more than 90 days. You are applying from India, you have the employment permit in place, right? So you can go here and then choose the employment visa. These are the different categories of visas, but probably you will gonna need this one since you are going for the employment visa. If you have any other visa type that you will be required, so you can apply for the same. So I'll go to the employment visa. And then if you go inside site, so the employment permit you will get from DET, right? Department of Enterprise, Trade and Employment. And then you will have to create your visa application online. You just need to go through this AVATS application, just open it in a new window. That's it. So I'm gonna open it here, right? And then once it's get open, you need to fill out that form, and make sure that we are filling that form very correct, because the same application you will be carrying along to the visa application center. So now you just need to click on continue, and then you have to create your form. You just need to acknowledge it, and you will have to do what's online. And then probably you need to fill in all the details. I'll show you. So just select India, right? Or the country you are applying from, and then you can go for employment, right? I'm covering a specific category, and maybe after some time I'll create another videos for the people who wish to know other travel types, right? So employment visa, you must select out of these, right? So if you got the critical skill employment permit, you must select this, or the general employment permit. I usually select for this one, right? If you get the CSEP, we call it CSEP, and the visa type will be long stay D, right? And most of the people get confused between the single and multiple entry. So the thing is, you should select single entry type if you have not visited Ireland before. And see, it's a long-term visa. So once you go there, it's not actually a visa, it's called as entry stamp. So entry stamp you will get from the embassy once you get this visa. So this is something like, if you select single, that means that you are going to go to Ireland for first time, and then uh, you cannot travel back, right? To and fro, you cannot travel. You cannot have multiple visits. But if you can apply for the IRP there, like the Irish residence permit, that acts as a visa. That is a card that you will going to get after reaching there, since you are going for a long term, right? So once you go there, you will go on a single entry type, and then you can apply for IRP, Irish residence permit. Once you get that, it has a validity of 2 years, and within that 2 years you can travel to and fro anytime you want, once you get that card in hand, right? So that's the reason you will go for the single, no matter in any of the videos if you see any of the multiple or anything. Multiple is for the person who has traveled to Ireland before, or they are coming for the short stay and other things, right? So in that case you can go for multiple, but generally we should select the single one, right? This is like contradicting a bit, but if you go through the further details, you will realize that you'll have to apply for single, and that's what I did. And I got the IRP in time. So yeah, that's how it is. Just type employment here, right? So I'm gonna type it for you. And then the passport type, make sure that you are selecting the national part passport, not go for the government official passport. Government official passport is for the one who has, I mean, who is going from the government behalf. So, or maybe the government has provided them a different passport, so that's called as government official passport. So you should not select this one. You should go for the national passport, and you'll have to type your passport number there. Make sure that the details are correct and matching from the passport, and the proposed date you can enter it, like, let's say, when you are planning to go or reach there. So you can put any tentative date, no worries. What I did is, in the employment permit, the start date was mentioned, the same date I have mentioned there. So let's say if you have a start date of maybe August, so you can type it 22nd August. That's for like 1 month from now. So that's how, like, and to date, leave it blank if you're going for long term, because you are not sure whether you are going to come back, or after how much time you are going to come back. So there is no limit. So you just keep it empty. So that's what it says, right? You may leave this field blank. Just go save and continue. I'm sharing from my experience, because whatever I felt, I was successful in um, creating this application, and then successfully getting the visa by my own. So that's why I'm telling all of this. So surname, you just can enter like Tripathi, and Mayank, whatever is your surname, right? Not, don't enter mine, right? So date of birth, similarly, any date preferable, you can enter like male, and then the country of birth will be India, right? And location will be India. So that's how it is. From the location you are applying, right, where you live now, it says, right? And then the address of your location, this should actually match the address in your passport. So if I type somewhere around 7 Mridul apartment or whatever it's there, and then the Noida, not Noida, but the Dwarka, I mean, anything that is there in your uh, you know the passport. So you just enter these details, right? And the email IDs, I'm just uh, giving a fake ID, but you can give a real ID of yours, right? And you should give a real ID of yours. So that's how it is. Save and continue. Then length of residence, you can enter any tentative length. uh, don't, if you are living and residing in Delhi or any at this address for like 10 years, you can enter 10 years or maybe 9 years. So that's nobody gonna check, but you have to enter any good tentative date, I must say. So do you have permission to return? Yes, we have permission, because we are Indian citizens, so we have that permission. Are you exempt? No, India is not exempted to provide the biometrics, right? If you check list, that's also the case there. Have you applied for before? So based on your whatever you have faced, you can select those. So this is for the first time. So if you have any family members living in Ireland, you must provide the names. And if you have a refusal, deportation, and refuse for another country, I must say that you should provide those details. There is no harm in providing those details. And overstayed or something, no. So criminal conviction, no, definitely no. uh, and save and continue. And then issuing authority type, you should answer, you should enter it as government of India. Don't enter anything else. Government of India is the correct issuing authority type. And the date of issue of your passport, whatever it is, like based on your dates, right? And then, is this your first passport? Yes. If not, you may have to enter the other details if you have renewed your passport later in the time, right? So just save and continue. And then, are you currently employed in your country of residence? Just say yes, because you are currently employed here and you got a job in Ireland, right? And current employer, you just enter the, like for me, I was working in Ericsson India before, so I've just entered it there. And the duration of employment you have with Ericsson, so whatever duration that you have worked till the step you are applying for this visa, right? So you can enter those details. Position, make sure that it is correct one, and give your work address really well. And it should be matching, right, whatever address, because you will be getting the employment certificate on later in the time, right? And this should match actually, right? So I'm gonna have all those things. This is not mandatory. You can ignore. That's fine. That's totally fine. Are you currently a student? No. So just save and continue. And yeah, make sure that you are gonna keep it in a safe place, because if you forget this and maybe sometimes it logs out, so you can log in again using this transaction number. So you can copy it and keep it somewhere safe. This is also IRL number. I will talk about it later. Just remember this number starting from 777, right? That's it. So save and continue. And then, will you be traveling with any other person? You just say no. If you're traveling with your spouse, you can definitely select yes. uh, and then, and for spouse also, you need to fill a separate form, or for your children. And you know, for children, I don't think so that you have filled separate form, but for spouse, you might need to fill a separate form. And then the address, the contact host in Ireland, yeah. So the contact host will most probably be your manager out there, or maybe the HR contact person. So you can ask these details from your future employer. So you can just enter the future employer address. So let's say I'm entering the address there, right? And all those details you can fill in. And then contact number, you have to write the exact with the uh, with the other details. And the extension, not the extension but the country code, right? So personally known, definitely these are not personally known, because the company is inviting you, so you should select. There's no harm in saying the truth rather than to lie, right? So there is no point. Just save and continue. Personal status, just say whatever, single, married, or your spouse is traveling with you, then you can select married. And then the pop-up will going to raise their children will be no, or in your case maybe one, two, and many more. Save and continue, and that's it. And then you will have to have the employment permit handy, and then you can provide the employment permit number. So you need to enter that number and the name of company who provided that permit. All of those details you will require, and the company address. So you can type that address along. Make sure the address is matching with the one in the employment permit. So make sure that you are entering the correct details. And the surname, like the contact person, so in my case it was my HR, so I gave her contact details and her employer number, whatever number that is there. So uh, any random number I'm typing here, but you have to type the exact number. Similar, the email ID, it's optional, so probably you can give, or you cannot. I mean, it depends on you. Complete this section if you are a green card work permit holder. So you're a work permit holder, you got the permit, so that's why you are entering these details, right? So just save and continue. Once you save and continue, it's gonna reach here. And then assistance, yes, I assisted you, but I'm not an agent, I'm not an agency. So just select no and save and continue. And just sign this declaration. And once you sign this declaration, you will get a whole form. Just submit it. So you just cross verify all these details and then submit this form. Once you submit this form, you will have to view and print the summary sheet. And once you do that, right, just make sure that you're printing this summary sheet, right? And then it is for long stay, single journey, all of these details you can cross check. Once you cross check all of the details, just click here to print the page. And then you have to print this particular page and keep it handy, because you have to carry this page, this copy, along with you to the visa application center, and you will have to sign it here and mention the date of the I mean the appointment date. You have to mention it here, right? And then you have to carry it along. So this is the thing, and this is the reference number that you are seeing starting with 777, right? So I'll tell you where we need these details, right? So just take these details and print the summary sheet, and after that you will have to take an appointment. So it is clearly mentioned that you have to take an appointment with the visa application center. So visa application center is a mediator between the embassy and you, so that you cannot directly reach the embassy. You just need to have all these documents combined and give it to the VAC, and they will charge some of the fees and the visa fees also. So they will take care of the all of the process with the embassy, and they will give you all of the information, everything at hand. So you just need to book an appointment, and you have to bring all these documents to the VAC once you attend. So the signed sheet, right, your original passport, and if you have a previous passport also, you just make sure to bring that, and passport size colored photographs, and evidence of the payment of the visa fees. So now after you get the appointment, right, and the supporting documents, I'll tell you what all are the supporting documents that will definitely help you in getting the visa, and it will not get declined. Take my words, it will not get declined. So that's what you need to do. So uh, just go here onto the IR, right, for booking an appointment. So once you go there, you will just apply for the visa here, right? And then I know the visa type, it's D, right? Long term stay. And for the Ireland, right? Begin your application, book an appointment. You just get directly go there, book an appointment. You can like do it here. And then IRL means Ireland, right? So it's very straightforward that we are doing for Ireland. If somebody asks, like, it's a VFS Global, so it's for many countries, right? So this is an agency that's actually takes care of the communication between you and the uh, embassy. So just book now, and then you have to create your own ID. You have to sign up for it, and then only you will be able to book the visa. Book the visa slot, probably the appointment, right? So I've already have my ID created here, just to, so that I won't waste much time. And I'm in kitrapati0@gmail.com, and then the password. And once I enter the password, I'll sign in. You'll have to sign out first. So I don't have an account, and then you need to sign out. Just do start new booking, and then you have to select the visa application center, right? So visa application center, you can select it from here. For me, it was New Delhi. For you, it might be different near to your location. You can enter any of the location if you want to go to Jalandhar or any other state probably, and Mumbai, any other state that you want to visit, and feel free to apply for that application center. So that's not an issue. Just go for the long stay, right? And then choose your subcategory as see, it's employment, right? Don't select this one. This is for PhD holders, right? um, so employment, and then the entry type would be single entry. Make sure that it is single entry, otherwise your visa will get into issues, right? So not applicable. And then exemption, you are not exempted because you are not a refugee, right? And then continue, and then please wait 25 seconds before saving and continue. So IRL number, so here it comes, right? I asked you to remember that number in the sheet, right? 777 started with 777. So just append IRL, and then the same number you need to enter it here, whatever number it was, right? And then your first name probably, and the last name, right? And then the gender and date of birth, whatever it was. So any date, whatever your date of birth is. I'm randomly entering that detail. This is not my correct date of birth. So yeah, I'll just select India here. and then the passport number, right? And then the expiry date, whatever date that it's going to expire, you can enter that same date, right? And your contact number, make sure it is correct one, because you will get the SMS and everything here, right, on this number. Just make sure that you are entering these details very correctly. So I'm entering these details right, just to let you know the whole process so that you will not feel different, right? And so you are the applicant. If you are adding your spouse or your children, right, don't add it here. You can add another applicant as a child. If you have a child, you can apply with you. But if you are, if you want your spouse to be with you, and travel and is traveling with you, then you have to make a separate appointment for her, not with your application. Okay. Similarly is the case for, when you were, filling the application for AVATS form, she has to fill it differently, right? Make sure about that. And continue. Make sure there are different services available, right? So just opt for the one which has SMS services. I must recommend taking the, the SMS services. It's fine. You will get the SMSs whenever. However, the visa, it depends. Like for me, it took like exactly 1.5 months to get my visa. So they say that you have to work for, like, you have to wait for at least 15 25 working days, I would say, or maybe more than that, excluding Saturday Sundays. So yeah. And you'll have to, I mean, in my case, I selected the premium lounge since the company was paying for it. But if the company is paying for it, make sure to select this one. It is very handy. You will get chocolates and whatnot in the private premium lounge. And I must recommend going for the SMS one, right? So you must select the ad, and then this is like the good one. You should spend this amount if you're spending already too much, right? Just continue, review and pay, right? IRL, make sure it is IRL. And then long stay, verify all these details, right? Courier, it was by default added. You cannot remove it. For Ireland, it is by default added, so you will not get the service wherein you can pick up, but it will automatically deliver to your address. And then submit and then agree, right? So just pay online. It will go to the payment step, and you will have to make the payment, and you will get the receipt and whatnot. So you will have to bring these copies along with the letter that you have filled in, right? All these things you have to bring, and you have to pay the amount. That's it. So I'm canceling since I have not, I have already gone through that process, and I would like to share those details with you. So that's it. And then let me show you one more detail that will come handy for you, right? And it is much needed, that what all documents that you need to carry. Just make sure you, most of the people, you will be in problematic situation if you hear so many things around the visa, that you need to have the, the gazette gazette on it, or I mean, in my scenario also, I got confused in while applying for the visa. I got to know that, um, for your documents you need to get those attested, but that is not the case. You do not need to have your documents attested, because if those documents are for government of India, are from government of India or any other agencies, so that's fine, that's totally fine. You don't need to approach any agencies for the attestation or everything, anything else, because I did not do it personally, and I don't think that it is needed, right? So don't fall into that trap, because if you go into YouTube and check certain videos, you will get confused. You will get confused in the journey type and whatnot. But I'm giving you from my experience, since I have traveled 3 months back, right? So I know how the process works and how all those things works down the line, right? So you need to take care of these things. All of that are onto the Irish immigration website only. So this is the official source, right? So you'll have to carry your passport, all the copies of your passport. make sure that you include every photocopy of a single page of your passport, from all the previous passport and all of the present passport. Make sure you have all of those, right? And along with that, you have to have two passport photographs, the photographs that you generally clicked, right? So this is like normal photographs you need recently, two passport size photographs, but I would suggest that you bring maybe four, in case you lost any one or two, right? So two passport size photographs you will be needing. One will be on your application form and one will be another, they will ask for it, right? Medical or travel insurance, it's not needed. If you want to, if you have, that's fine. If you don't have, that's also fine. Don't believe in anybody else statement that you need it, otherwise it get rejected. So that's not the case. Application letter, this is mandatory, you need it. So you can create the letter using chat gpt or anything that you suggest. You have to write uh, to the embassy of Ireland, and you have to, in two, you have to write the embassy of Ireland address, right? You can find it on Google, right? And then you have to enter your details, like full contact details, reason for wanting to come to a reason, and you can mention that you got the employment permit and you want to work in Ireland, and you got a job and your start date is this one. And if you're coming with how long, so you can say that for 2 years I will be working in Ireland since I got the employment permit. And you can mention any details of a member who are currently in Ireland or any other EU member state if you want. And details of where you intend to stay. So you can write, like, you whatever company details you got, right, the address. So you can write that you will be gonna stay near to that, like the city or any place in Ireland, right? And you can also commit, like, that you will abide by all the laws and everything, and you will leave the state. You will not be a burden on that state if you leave the job. So all those things you can mention it there. And then you can have that letter printed, and make sure there is a date, and sign signature field in it. And then you can put the date of the visa appointment date and the address and the sorry, the signature, right? That's it. So you'll have to carry that application letter. uh, and then you should have the employment permit handy that you have to take, right, along with that photocopies. And then the contract of employment is nothing but the offer letter that mentions that you make that is intended towards you, and your name and address, full address, should be mentioned in that contract of employment. And when the start date and the offer and your job role, so all of those things should be mentioned here. And then the letter from employer, generally it comes along with the contract of employment, wherein letter of employer is different. It says that uh, Mayank Tripathi will be commencing employment with us, to whomsoever it may concern. And then they will enter that he will be joining. He will be joining as a specialist in this field, and he will be going to work for this company for so long, starting from this day, right? So that's called as a letter of employer. You have to bring both of those, right? And then evidence of qualifications is like, uh, how did you get the job? So you must have those certificates, right? Or like the BTech degree or maybe BA degree or whatever degree, right? uh, and your 10th and 12th qualification, high school, and then the senior, that photocopies you need to bring along with the original one. And along with that, you have to bring the recent pay slips of your current company you are working at, right? And the letter from your employment permit, letter from your employer. The current employer letter is also required, so that you can justify that you have this much experience, right? You have to bring all of the experience letter that you have worked in any other companies, right? You have to bring those letters, photocopies of those letters. Along with that, the present employer, you know present employer letter, so which states that this person is working in this company for this much amount of time. So it states, the letter states all of those things, right? That you are working as a senior analyst specialist in this job role for this company. So it is not mandatory anyways, because I did not give it but it is good to have the more documents, right? So you can have it, all these salary payments that you can bring in, or the recent pay slips along with the tax statement that shows that you are paying tax, right? So form 16 or any ITR returns you can give them, right? All the photocopies, these are optionals, the training certificates and professional certificates. So that's it. And the finances, make sure, see, for critical skill employment permit you don't need sufficient funds or anything like that.